Woo!
One.
We're
Woohoo!
live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Flowers and Friends Talk Show. My name is Ana Galena, and I'm here with.
I am Kara Jamison. We are so excited to welcome you back again to our second show. Anna,
Oh yes,
last week was amazing.
This week was incredible. We got so many comments, emails, messages. Everyone was so happy about our first episode, and I was happy about our first episode.
Yeah, I was so happy. And you know what really made me so happy was to see everyone get inspired to create what Dion and Danielle taught us about last week. And that I love that. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I want to show you my paintings, but first I want to say something. It was, you know, what was the most amazing experience of doing this? Like I said last week, this was my first time painting, and Dion made it look so easy. So I was like inspired to do it.
Yeah.
And then it is not that easy. I'm going to show you right now. But then I remember something. Most of the time, my viewers, my students, everyone's always like, Anna, you make it look so easy. But then I try to do it and it's not that easy. And I always say, you know what? You need to practice. Practice makes it easy. So that was so comforting for me because I started and well, this is my first one.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
but
wow.
I didn't. So I had to do another one.
I love them both.
And I still need to practice. I know I need to practice, but I enjoyed the activity. It was therapeutic. I'm really liking doing new stuff.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well, you know, getting yourself out of your own comfort zone and trying something new. And you know what? Just giving yourself a few minutes of peace for yourself. You know,
Totally.
Bringing the floral magic into your life and just being like, okay, no distractions right now. I'm going to do this for myself. I love it.
Yes, and just like Dion said, there are no mistakes.
There are no mistakes.
You're only drawing. So it was fun. I love the rose you're wearing.
You know, so I have a 5 or 6-year-old little son. And today, as I was getting ready for the talk show, putting on my makeup, he comes in my house with his kid's scissors. And he said, Mom, I went out to the garden. I cut you roses so you could put them in your hair today for the talk show. I was like, oh, God, okay. So we are going to have
roses are blooming beautifully.
Yes. So I'm really excited because last week Danielle taught us how to make candied rose petals. And I didn't even know that you could do that. And so I actually grow garden roses and they just started blooming, Anna, this week, like in full bloom. And so I will be trying Danielle's candied rose recipe soon.
I think it's important right now. A lot of our viewers have asked whether all garden roses are edible. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Well, so with my roses, I know there has been no pesticides and no chemicals sprayed on them. I know for sure. So that is why I know that I can try this with my own garden roses. If you were going to try to make candied rose petals at home, you need to make sure that they're culinary grade rose petals.
And if you live in the US, you can always order them from Magnolia's Garden like I did. I want to show you mine.
Oh.
But where are they? Oh, here. They are so cute and they're fun to eat. I mean, they add like a crunchiness to your food. It was fun. It's fun. It's been fun. My kids are like, Mom, what is that you're adding to our breakfast?
I love it. I love it. Wow.
Should we show a clip about last week?
Oh, let's do it. Let's see it.
Let's go.
Hey, Anna, you got your paintbrush ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so you got one rose petal. Just do it individually here. You're gonna just dip your paintbrush into your rose petal, and you want to just get that liquid all over.
Just gonna tap that around there. You're gonna make a lip for the jar and go across. Okay. And that's why we do the stems first, because we don't want our colors to really mix in. We want it to dry.
Wow.
Actually took me 3 days to do my paintings, but that was fun.
Well, sometimes when you start something new, you got to get into it slow and steady, slow and steady.
Completely. So we have a lot of people right now connected. I think we should start talking about today's episode.
Yes. All right, Anna, let's get into today's show.
Our introduction video. It makes me want to start dancing.
Yes. Well, today's show topics are really fun. It's all about gardening and things you can do inside of your garden. And we have two great guests that are going to teach us some really fun things today that we all can do at home.
Yes, and I'm so excited for our guests because I'm learning new stuff every week, and gardening is something I hardly know anything about, so I'm thrilled to learn. One of our guests today is going to be Tricia from Millstone Nursery. She's going to be showing us how to make a planter, and I'm the most excited person there can be because I already have my plants. To do all the activities.
Yes.
So I have my plants, and I can't wait for her to teach me how to do it and teach all of you.
All right, let's meet
So-
Tricia.
Yes, Tricia. Hi.
Hey everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on today. Every morning when I log on to Instagram, you are one of the first photos I see, and it's always of your gorgeous planters that inspire me to want to create them. And so I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate all of our followers, and we're hoping that we're just some inspiration to you in the morning and to get your day started right with flowers.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Can you? Yes. Is Jen here already?
Okay. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see, Jen. So Jen of the Flowering Farmhouse, she is our next guest for today. I'm really excited to bring her on because she's going to teach us all about growing dahlias. There is currently a few technical difficulties right now. We have a lot of people live streaming with us, and so hopefully we will get her on in just a few minutes, but she is going to teach us, and I'm so excited because Anna, you know what? Dahlias are the queen of the fall flowers. I mean, like when you show someone a dahlia or post a photo of a dahlia, people are like, oh my goodness. So I'm excited. People are going to learn how to grow them.
And did you know that dahlias are Mexico's national flower?
I love it.
Yes, and it is mostly not because of their beauty, but because the Aztecs used them for medicine and and to eat. Actually, they were a source of food for them. So that's why it's our national flower.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, we're actually going to be playing a video from Jen and her segment on Bloom TV here in just a little bit when we welcome her on. So, yes. Okay. Look at all these people. My chat screen is just flying by here. There's so many people on the chat right now. Hello.
Hello.
I see Renee. I see Tammy. I see Hilda. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yeah, I see some of my cousins, my friends, Mariana, Marcela, Mama. My mother is here.
Oh, all right. Hey, Anna.
Yes.
So, Bloom TV, I thought maybe we would kind of tell everybody about how, they can subscribe to Bloom TV and see some of the wonderful videos that are on there. I know Tricia, that's going to be with us today, she has a video on how to create moss mounds, which
Wow.
I didn't even know how to do that.
I know. Her videos are so soothing. I love her voice, and I love how she makes it. She inspires. She motivates
Right.
me. She really motivated me. I'm so excited to have her today.
Right. I know we have a screen that we can show you how to go to bloomtvnetwork.com and subscribe. And while you're there, we wanted to let you know that there is actually a Mother's Day special going on today. When you buy one yearly subscription, you can gift another yearly subscription for free. So that means your mom, your sister, your best friend, whoever the mom is in your life that you care about, you can give them the gift of flowers and watch just loads of flower content on bloomtvnetwork.com.
And it is filled with delightful content. I just love spending, I mean, when I'm cooking, when I'm doing stuff, it's like I put it on and I just scroll through the videos. I mean, put them on autoplay, so they will play one after another, and they're always so inspiring. I'm always learning so many new things. I love what we're doing with TV. So, also, why don't we tell our viewers what you and I are gonna be doing after our guests? So I'm gonna show you how to make a flower centerpiece with the bouquet you get for Mother's Day.
Ooh, I love it. And I'm going to be, so I love to grow cut flowers. I have big gardens. And so I'm actually going to be telling you what is growing in my gardens right now that are perennials that I love to use for cut flowers. And maybe it will be a plant that you might want to go out this weekend and buy your mom for Mother's Day so she can have in her garden so she can cut her own flowers to bring inside next year.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So let's get Tricia back with us. Why don't we start by showing you guys one of her videos?
Yes.
Most of us sense that taking a walk in the forest is good for us. We take a break from the rush of our daily lives, and this is one of the benefits of creating moss mounds. Exposure to the forest has been proven to boost immune system, lower blood pressure, reduce stress, improve moods, and even increase the ability to focus. It raises our energy level, and they say it even improves sleep.
Oh,
Welcome, Tricia.
hello.
Hi. Okay.
Let's see. There she is.
Oh,
There.
there.
Tic-tac-toe.
Problems.
Tic-tac-toe.
Okay, let's get Tricia.
There we go. Hi.
Hi. Can you hear us?
Hello. Uh-oh, I think we're having some technical difficulties again.
No problem. We'll
Yes,
keep
we'll get
going.
this worked out. There
Oh, there she is.
she is.
Hi.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Oh, we are ready. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hey.
I lost you for a second, but I can hear you now.
Okay. Yes, we gotta love technology here, but I am so excited because the technology is bringing us you, and you are gonna get to show us how to create this. It looks like a really big planter you're gonna be making today.
Can y'all see it okay? So,
yes,
are you ready for me to start?
absolutely.
Okay. So, I just wanted to give y'all just a quick tip on how to create a container for Mother's Day or any other special occasion, because this is going to create a beautiful arrangement of fresh flowers, herbs, houseplants, and perennials for your garden. So, to get started, I have already saved some time and I've lined our container. This is a metal container. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I've lined it with, you can use regular aluminum foil, but we are using a florist grade foil that is waterproof. So it keeps your container from getting ruined with the moisture. And I've filled it with gravel for good drainage. And then I've also done a good pre-fertilized potting soil. So I'm going to create something real fast for you, okay? That I think all the moms will love. I've gone ahead and I've prepped my plants. So I've taken a lot of the soil off of the bottom. So don't be afraid to loosen up the roots when you're planting a container, okay? So I'm going to take this ruffle fern, and when I'm planting a container, if it's something that what we call where it's just sort of flat across the back, I'll always start with my largest plant material first. So I'm going to put in my ruffle fern. Then, for fragrance, we're going to add some blooming lavender.
Ooh,
Now,
yum.
this one I haven't taken the roots off yet. Isn't that pretty? But I'm going to go ahead and just rip these roots right off the bottom. You don't have to be gentle, okay? I'm going to rip these roots right off the bottom, loosen up the soil really, really well. And then remember, this is flat across the back, so I'm going to have the party in the front. So we're going to add our lavender right here.
Mm-hmm.
Then, for a little something trailing, we're going to do this salginella.
Ooh,
Love
pretty.
this salginella. And this also makes a really nice house plant, or you can use this in your garden in the shade.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to add our salginella right here. I love the texture and the feel of the salginella next to the lavender. Can you see that okay?
Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah, I love the contrasting green colors that you are using in this planter. It's beautiful.
Oh, I do too. And now we're going to add something variegated. This is a variegated, hang on. This is a variegated peperomia. So this will make a great house plant.
Mm-hmm.
So right now what we're offering, we have a house plant, we have a sun perennial, we have a shady plant right here that would be great on a covered patio, and we have a shade fern. So when this arrangement has passed its prime and you take it all together, there's a little bit of something for every place in your home and garden. So we've added the variegated peperomia. Remember, we're going to put the tallest things in the back and the shorter things in the front. And then a maidenhair fern. I love the softness of the maidenhair fern. And then this is really pliable too, so it can sort of straddle the handle of our container.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our maidenhair fern.
I love how
And
light
then-
and airy that looks. It
Love.
looks like it will just blow in the wind.
Now this is called Thrift. This is a part sun ground cover that blooms these beautiful, beautiful little pink pom-poms in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to add our Thrift right here. And then we're going to do some holly fern right here. Now this is a perennial evergreen fern. This is called our holly fern. So we're going to add this right across the back.
Gorgeous.
Our holly fern.
Gorgeous.
And then for fragrance and for color and for texture and a little bit more spill, we're going to do a lemon variegated thyme. So we're going to come put the thyme right across the front. And have 3 of the lemon variegated thymes to fill up our container. Put this on the floor.
Beautiful. I can
So
already
we'll do
see
3 of the lemon. And it's so fragrant. I wish you could smell it. I wish we had
Ooh.
smell.
I'm sure it is. I'm just, I wish I was there.
Yes.
We have the fragrance of the lavender and the lemon thyme. It's just beautiful. Now, as you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that we use a lot of sheet moss and mood moss, just like y'all showed the little video of us making the moss mounds. And you need to visit the hashtag Moss Mound Monday page. You'll see a lot of good moss mound options there. We're whipping up moss mounds right and left for Mother's Day here too at Millstone Market and Nursery. But now when we finish our containers, now this is just plain sheet moss. So I'm going to hide, I'm kind of looking at the camera to see how this is looking in the front. Hope it's looking good. I'm going to just finish the front of our container with the moss and hide all of our mechanics. Now what the moss does, the moss helps hold the moisture in, and when you water it, it keeps the soil from washing out. So it gives a finished look, it hides our mechanics, and it keeps the soil from washing out when you water. So I'm just going to tuck in our foil. Now we're not finished with this yet, because remember I said something about fresh flowers?
Yes.
I hadn't gotten that far yet. I have a little
Tricia.
surprise for you at the end.
I have a question about the moss.
So I'm going to just, yeah.
What type of moss is it? Do you
Yes.
know?
Now this is just sheet moss. This is just
Okay.
the flat, thin sheet moss.
Okay.
And usually we would soak this and wet this and wring it out like a sponge. It makes it really pliable. But for the sake of live streaming TV, I'm just kind of winging it. I'm just kind of winging it and not putting it in dry. Okay. So let me see. Let me walk around and see how this is looking from the front.
It looks beautiful.
Oh yeah, a
Let me
little
tell
seal
you.
there. Does that look good? Okay, now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but when I started this arrangement, I had a little glass vessel in here. So for all the moms out there that we want to make this extra special, I have this bouquet. And we have the Henry Sweetspire. We have a peony. We have hydrangeas. We actually have a dahlia. We have dahlias that we brought in from Monrovia that are blooming. But I love this Henry Sweetspire. We have salvia. So I'm going to drop that right in our vessel.
Oh my God, that is so
And so
beautiful.
then Mom has a little something of everything.
Yes.
We'll add a little bit more of this Sweetspire.
That is just gorgeous.
And there we have it. A little something for everything. We have houseplants, perennials, fresh flowers, shade, sun. So let Mom enjoy this, or any of your loved ones enjoy this. And then when they take it apart, they've got something for every part of their home and garden.
Everyone on the chat is going crazy over this. Everyone's like, this is so beautiful. Great job, Tricia. What a pretty planter. I love it. Everyone's really enthusiastic about what you just did.
Thank you.
love
Thank you
it.
so much.
Tricia, I do have a question.
Okay.
So if Mom were to receive this arrangement, should she keep it indoors or can she keep it outdoors in a sunny location? Where should she keep this?
Well, it would probably last. The potted part of this would probably do best in shade.
Okay.
The lavender, of course, is the only thing that really would like full sun.
Okay.
But it'll be pretty it'll stay for a couple, 3 weeks or so. And it just started blooming. It has lots of buds. But ultimately, Mom would want to plant this in her garden. The lemon thyme is a nice sunny ground cover. So that eventually she would want to put in her garden. We have shade here, shade and shade house plants. And then one of my plants that I love, I'll just take it out real quick and show it to you. This is a perennial holly fern. It is evergreen in our zone. We're zone 7. This would probably get about 18 inches tall and wide. This makes an amazing perennial. And not only does it cover a nice part sunspot of your yard all year long because it is evergreen, but the foliage is great to cut to put in flower arrangements. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I like plants that can do double, triple duty for me. I mean, it's okay if you look nice, but I need to be able to cut you or maybe put you in a salad or cut blooms from you or something. So this one does double duty for you because it's great foliage for flower arrangements.
So I have a question. Do we always need to put our plants from a planter in a garden, or can they always be in the planter?
Okay, well, they could be. This is going to be too large, of course, to accommodate just 1 or 2 of these mini plants that we put in here. So, but yes, once this arrangement starts to fade, I would completely take this apart and make, put the salginella on the porch or the maidenhair fern. It likes a lot of water. Go ahead and put it. You can put it in a sunny window in the house. Just put the plants in their appropriate places.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Tricia, can you tell us a little about your nursery and where you're located?
Okay, so we're a full-service garden center. We are situated on 8 acres in the heart of Germantown, Tennessee. That's just right next door to Memphis. So when you think Memphis, we're just I could basically see Memphis from outside my shop. But we have a landscaping department. We sell a wide variety of trees and shrubs and everything that's hardy and we sell a lot of natives for our area. We have a garden gift shop. In our greenhouse, we have a 4,000 heated and cooled square foot greenhouse. We do potted and custom arrangements. So if you follow me on Instagram, 90% of all of those arrangements are something that someone comes in special orders and we send it back out. They either pick it up or we deliver. We grow dahlias, we grow tulips, zinnias. So we sell fresh cut flowers as the garden allows. See, what else do we do? Well, just about everything. Just about everything. We sell annuals. We have a beautiful selection of perennials. And we have something going on every weekend in the spring called our Spring Speaker Series. Last weekend, we had several food trucks and we did a garden talk on how to do a layered garden. The weekend before, I did a whole series on how to create hummingbird gardens and hummingbird habitats and how to attract hummingbirds to your garden, which is something near and dear to my heart. As a matter of fact, that'll be my next Bloom TV video.
Oh, wow.
Looking forward to that.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm excited to watch that because I am not exactly sure which plant hummingbirds really love. So I can't wait to see that.
Oh, and there's my mascot. That's
We noticed.
so if
In
you
all of your videos.
So if you've been to our shop, you know, that's our mascot. I actually put him up because I couldn't watch him while I was on doing our Bloom TV. But anyway, so Woodrow's our mascot. We have a lot of pictures of him on our Instagram page. He's usually just roams the property free and meets and greets all the customers. But yeah, he's a big part of our business.
Wow.
We love Woodrow.
Absolutely. Well, Tricia, this was absolutely fabulous. We want to thank you so very much for showing us how to create this planter. I'm really inspired to now run out to the garden center after this and get some of these plants and make this.
Well, I wish you were close by because I would love to help you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
We have
oh,
Jen with us.
Hey. Jen, we are so excited that you are here with us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks
This
for
is
having
Jen
me. I'm
from
so glad to be
Farmhouse.
here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I just said I'm so glad to be here.
Yay.
We're so glad that you're here.
Oh, that was so fun to see the last bit of Tricia's. That makes me want to do one of those and put it on like my kitchen island, and so fun.
Absolutely. Jen, who her business is the Flowering Farmhouse. She is a cut flower grower, and she is also a Bloom TV expert who has a gorgeous video on Bloom TV. And I'd love to play a clip for you right now of her video before we get into learning about dahlias.
There's something really magical about growing flowers. It's hard to describe until you've gotten your hands dirty, putting your hands in that dirt, planting that seedling or that seed and watching it grow and come this beautiful thing that you can harvest and share with others. It just gives me goosebumps. There's something so magical about being able to share that beauty and pass along a little bit of kindness to others.
Wow. You're so inspiring. I can't wait
thank
to
you.
see what you're going to teach us today, what you're going to show us about dahlias.
Well, so first of all, I have got $1 million question for both of you. Do you say dahlias or dahlias?
I say dahlias.
I say dahlias too.
So I have always said dahlias, and then my daughter, who's 7, is like, "Mom, you're saying it wrong." And I'm like, "It's my favorite flower, and I can't even pronounce it." It's one of those like tomato, I think, where depending on where in the country you are. So my lingo has been slipping, so I might say dahlia, and I might say dahlia, and it's just because my daughter's like, "You have to change how you say it, Mom." So
That is so cute.
yeah. So today we're going to talk about my favorite flower. I fell in love with growing dahlias. Well, I've loved dahlias since I was a kid. My uncle had this amazing garden and would always have these fresh dahlia bouquets throughout his house. And then my mom grew a bunch of dinner plate dahlias as decorations in the garden. And so finally, when I had my own yard, I planted them. And then in 2014, as a photographer, I started growing about 64 in my garden, and those 64 have now turned into 2,000 this year.
Wow.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're about to plant, and I really hope I don't have any connection issues today. We have a torrential downpour outside. Like, it is unheard of this time of year. So it's caused some internet issues. So let me know if you're having trouble hearing me. So today I wanted to talk to you about growing dahlias, and there are 2 ways that you can grow dahlias. The most traditional way to grow them is from a dahlia tuber, like I have right here. The other way that is becoming popular, thanks to breeders like Christine Albright and Erin Benzakin of Floret, is growing dahlias from seed. And I'm not sure if you can see, they're so tiny.
Oh my God.
But when you grow from seed, you actually get a brand new variety. And so that's what this is here is. This is my 3rd year growing from seed. So I'm dipping my hands into the breeding part. And this is a little bit more complex. Anyone can grow from seed. If you grow from just open seed, you're probably going to get an open blown center dahlia, which can still be pretty and is amazing for attracting pollinators to the garden. But if you want those big, beautiful ball dahlias, you really have to be careful on how you breed and be very selective to get them. But that is for a whole nother topic. But I wanted to talk to you guys about tubers today. So do you have any questions before I dive right in?
I have one quick question. Someone, Shelly in the comments is asking, what zone do dahlias thrive in?
Oh, that's a great question. Dahlias can thrive in a lot of zones. They originated in Mexico in the hills, so they don't like really hot weather. We had record high temperatures last year. We got to 118 degrees. We were 110 for 2 weeks straight, which just shut down the dahlias and made them super unhappy. So ideally, dahlias grow really well in zones, I'd say 6 to 10 is probably the highest zone you'd want to do it. And most zones, though, you grow dahlias as an annual. Certain zones, you can grow them as a perennial and leave them in the ground. In my zone, I'm zone 7B here in Hood River, Oregon. If I was to leave them in the ground, I would most likely lose my tubers every year because we get so cold and so much water that the tubers would rot and freeze.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Thank you.
To really answer that question for Shelly, they thrive. Like if you have 80-degree temperatures, they love that weather.
Okay. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
San Diego is ideal for that then. Our average temperature.
So like just outside of San Francisco, they do really, really well. Shelly, yes, you can grow them in Florida. You just want to watch out for those temperature extremes. But I have sold tubers to people in Florida, and I'm always envious because their blooms come on so much sooner than mine because I don't even have a single dahlia in the ground yet. We're going to be planting. My rule of thumb is I always wait until Mother's Day where I live. So before planting outside, you want the ground to be dry. If it's super saturated, your dahlias are going to rot in the ground. You want the soil temperature to be at least 50 degrees. And your soil temperature is completely different than the outside temperature. So it could be 40 degrees outside, but my soil could be 50 degrees. So you want to make sure your soil temperature is warm enough to encourage them to start growing. And so we're so late. I mean, a month ago, we had 6 inches of snow on the ground, which is unheard of.
Wow.
So this weekend, we're going to be taking our silage tarps off our field. I am going to be making some more videos for Bloom TV, showing you guys outside how to plant. But I didn't think you guys wanted me out in the mud demonstrating this today. So I have 3 tubers right here that are actually all from the same parent plant. And what I wanted to show you is tubers come in all shapes and sizes. So the size and shape does not determine how viable your tuber is. I have actually grown from tubers that are this big. I kind of say a rule of thumb is if it's smaller than my pinky finger, I'm probably not going to plant it. When I sell my dahlia tubers, I try and send out tubers that are about this size to customers because people always get nervous if they get a tuber like this. They're like, it's not going to grow. So I save these ones for myself and I plant them, and they produce the same plant. They came from the same mother. But tubers, they have different parts of their body. So this is called the body. Right here is the neck. Some of them have longer necks than others. This one has a really short neck. This one here has a really long neck. And then on the head, what you want to have a viable dahlia is you need an eye. So you see that little white dot there, that is the eye starting to sprout. And on this one here, the eye, it almost takes a trained eye. Sometimes people will say, I got a dahlia and it doesn't have an eye on it. Well, I'm hoping this will focus on here. Right next to my finger, there's just like this little dark raised bump. And so the eye has not sprouted yet, but I can see that the eye is there. So this is totally viable. Dahlias, you want them to be firm. You don't want them to be super squishy. They can be soft, but you don't, if they're super, super squishy, like you can put your finger through, they've probably rotted through. So anyways, I wanted to show you the 3 different There's a whole bunch of sizes, but right here, these are 3 different sizes, all from the same mother. Those that bought dahlia tubers from the Flowering Farmhouse, when you got your package in the mail, you had a postcard like this that has planting instructions on the back. And then on my website, I also have a very detailed blog post about planting dahlia tubers. I also have a beginner's guide to growing dahlia tubers. So if you have more questions than I can answer today, be sure to check out my blog and search dahlias, and there's a whole bunch of articles there. But for getting started on this, I'm going to use a little clear.
Let me ask you something, Jen. Are we still in time to order tubers from you?
I am completely sold out for the year. So we are done with them. You can visit a website called dahliaaddict.com, and they will show you all the tubers that are still available from growers around the country. So there are some places that still have tubers available. Unfortunately, we are completely sold out.
Okay.
So we're going to use this plastic salad container today as our demonstration. We're going to pretend like this is the ground level here. And that way you can visually see how I would plant a dahlia tuber outside. As a little side note, I don't ever get rid of these salad containers. They make excellent containers for planting in the garden. I start all my marigolds and cosmos, things that can easily separate out, and some of my vegetables. I'll start these in here and then grow them under the grow lights before taking them outside. So for planting your dahlia tuber, you're going to want to dig a hole and make it about 4 to 6 inches deep. Once you have that, in the past, I have always used bone meal. There's one problem when you use bone meal. Critters love bone meal. So if you have dogs, my dog, I put bone meal down with my tulips. My dog dug up 1,000 tulips before I noticed what he was doing this fall. No. And critters like rodents also love and are attracted to the smell. So if you want to keep voles and things out, I'm going to go away from the bone meal this year because I don't want the tunneling and the digging. So what I'm going to use is I went to my local farm store and I picked up organic alpha pellets. So like what you would feed a farm animal, like a bunny. And these are super high in nitrogen. They're a slow release nitrogen. So all that I'm going to do is once I've dug my hole, and I should mention, I did a soil test. If you're growing a lot of dahlias or you really want to make sure you have really good blooms, get a soil test done on your soil so you know what amendments to add to your soil. I have a very neutral soil base, and so I don't have to add a lot of amendments to my soil, which is why I'm only adding these alfalfa pellets here. So all you're going to do is you're going to take a handful and just literally sprinkle them in the soil. And then you're going to take your dahlia tuber. And a lot of people think you want to plant your dahlia tuber like this. If you do that, it's not going to grow well. You actually want to lay your dahlia tuber flat. So you want to locate the eye. So for example, on this one, my eye, it's super tiny right here on the head. There's just this tiny little dot. And I'm just going to literally lay it flat, just like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the dirt back over it. Just covered my keyboard in dirt.
Oh no, this is fantastic.
And so now it is covered up. There are several trains of thought once you've done this. If your ground is super dry, you could lightly water this and give it a little bit of moisture, but you do not want to put any drip irrigation on this. You don't want to start watering your dahlias, which is why I haven't planted outside yet, because we're supposed to have an inch of rain today. We're going to have another inch of rain tonight. My ground is going to be so saturated. So a little bit of rain from Mother Nature is okay, but you do not want to start watering your dahlias until they start popping out of the ground. And so what you want to think about is if this is the baby coming out of the ground, once you see about this much of your dahlia out of the ground, that is when it is time to start watering your plants. So inside this tuber, it has everything it needs to sustain life until the plant starts growing. Once the plant starts growing, then you need to give it water. And I like to fertilize mine. And so I don't use, this year I'm going away from neem oil. I'm not using neem oil. I'll be releasing beneficial insects to help with pests. And I use a compost and fish fertilizer. And that is all that I feed my dahlias besides the slow release.
That is incredible.
So,
I mean,
oh, good. So, I wanted to show you this other dahlia. this one here. So this is one of my seedlings also that I saved from, and I'm dripping all over myself, so let me grab a towel. I saved this dahlia seed from one of my anemone plants. So that means it's going to be an open-faced dahlia, but I'm still super excited. This was pollinated by the bees, not cross-pollinated by me, but it's going to be the first bloom we're getting this season.
Oh,
With my seeds, I typically don't pinch my dahlias because I want to see what they are. I grow several hundred seeds each year that I have saved, and I actually only keep like 1 or 2. If you follow me on Instagram at the Flowering Farmhouse, in my stories, I will do a keep or toss. And let me tell you, my DMs blow up when I ask people keep or toss, because they're like, are you kidding me? You're throwing away a dahlia? Oftentimes I give them to friends and neighbors because they make great pollinators, but I don't typically keep the blown open centers. I'm really looking for those perfect balls. So from 2021, I have 3 dahlias that hopefully by next year, maybe the following year, will be available in our collection. I have this lavender colored dahlia, and then I have 4. I have a lavender, I have a buttercream yellow, I have an ivory, and then I have, people have been calling it cotton candy. So I've been calling it my cotton candy. It's kind of like this white, and it's got these little purple and yellow speckles, and it's super fun. I've been thinking like carnival or cotton candy. But anyways, I like to see these ones bloom. This is one of my seedlings also, but for demonstration, I want to show you. To get a bushier plant with more blooms, you want to pinch your dahlias. And so what that means is you want to encourage more side growth on your plant. So when your dahlia gets about 4 sets of leaves, so I always go off the leaf notes. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here is about where you want to pinch your dahlia so that it is going to encourage side growth. I'm going to go up a little bit higher on this one just because these are shorter nodes because it's been growing in the greenhouse. So I'm going to take a clean pair of shears. It is super important that you clean your garden shears every time you cut from a different plant. Dahlia disease is rampant right now, which I need to do another video on that. And maybe I can come back on and chat with you guys about that later in the season. But to prevent spreading disease, because if you cut into this plant and let's say this plant was diseased, and then I go cut another plant, then I'm going to spread that disease from this plant to the next plant. So by cleaning them in between, I carry bleach with me. I carry a spray bottle and it has 10% bleach and 10% water. And I spray my snips between every single plant that I switch between on my dahlias. So when I'm ready to cut this, can you guys see in here? I'm just going to come right in here and I'm literally just going to cut it off like that. And now I'm going to add, this is going to take now another 2 weeks before I get a bud on this because all of these nodes here on the plant, so all of these spots where their leaves are coming out are going to start sending out side shoots. So instead of having a plant with 1 flower, I might have a plant with 4 or 5 flowers to start.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
If you are a little more advanced, you can also take this and turn this into a cutting. So you can propagate this. So what you need is you need a node. So I could do this. I'm not going to be greedy on this one for the demonstration. So if I cut this off right above this node here, right above the leaves, so this is considered a node. What I could do is I can then cut this again, and I'm going to pull these leaves off here. And I would need a rooting hormone, and I would dip this in the rooting hormone, and then I can put this in some soil, and this right here will grow a baby plant.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
So you can take a cutting and multiply your stock because tubers are not cheap.
Oh, I can't wait to try it out next year.
Yes. So I'll be doing some videos on how to take some cuttings and multiply your stock because it's a great way to get more dahlias without having to buy more tubers.
Wow. You can really grow a lot of flowers with just 1 dahlia tuber. That's pretty amazing. Well, thank you, Jen. We really appreciate this very thorough demonstration that you did today. And I hope a lot of you guys that are watching out today will get inspired to grow dahlias in your gardens this year.
Thank you for having me.
How exciting. Thank you so much. We've gotten so many comments. Everyone's so excited, motivated. They're all like, I'm going to try it. A lot of our viewers have said they have never grown dahlias, but now they really want to try it. Me, one of them.
Awesome. Yes, you
Mhm.
should. They're addicting. It's kind of like the Lay's potato chips. You can't just have one. You start with one, and next thing you know, you've got 10. That 10 becomes 100.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Anna and we thought that we would bring you some fun little growing garden tips this show now. And Anna, do you want to lead that off and tell them what you are going to be creating?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I'm not going to be doing anything on gardening because I'm not a gardener, but I'm going to give you a really quick tip. If you get a Mother's Day bouquet, because on Sunday it's Mother's Day, and maybe a lot of you might be getting a bouquet. And for me, if you get the bouquet, you can do a lot more than just put them in flowers. Actually, today we're uploading a video on Bloom TV where I teach you how to use a regular salad bowl and then use a grid with floral tape. Well, actually, this is from my garden. I cut some foliage from the garden. And with this, it's so easy to just add your flowers. I'm going to do a little demo here, but the most important part here is that take your time. Maybe not do it on Sunday. In Mexico, Mother's Day is going to be on Tuesday. So maybe you don't have to do it on Mother's Day. Once your family has left the house, take your time, get yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a glass of wine, whatever helps you relax. Put on some music, get your base ready, and then enjoy. Give yourself some time to just make your flowers look prettier. And the most important part here is give yourself some time for yourself. Relax with the magic of flowers. Just play around with them. If you have the foliage, it's so easy to just cut the flowers, put them around your foliage in between, and have fun. This is for you, and flowers actually help us get that time for ourselves. It's important. You always need to cut your flowers as you're putting them in your flower arrangements, but this will make you feel so happy. You will not only have flowers, you will have given yourself time to relax, connect with them, and do something different when no one is there to bother you. No one is like, Mom, I want this, Mom, this. Just think of a time where you can be alone without anyone bothering you and connecting with the flowers. Actually, I have the full tutorial on Bloom TV. It was uploaded today, and it's something really fun to do that I'm sure will give you happiness throughout the week. Because if you have closed roses like this, watching the buds open and enjoying every day as the flowers grow and evolve, it's going to be so much joyful. So I invite you to do that. Don't just put them in a regular vase. Play with them, have fun with them, try new things.
Absolutely. That looks so much fun. Thank you, Anna. How gorgeous. Wow. I see a few things that I grow in there as well. And I'm actually coming to you today with a fun floral tip. I know that a lot of you guys are probably scouring the garden centers right now and looking for things to add in your gardens. I'm a cut flower grower, and I really love finding plants that I can grow in my gardens that I can cut from. And these are perennial plants that come back every year. So I have 3 plants I'm going to show you today, and I've got all of these flowers are from my gardens. And I have got this beautiful arrangement today that I created.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you. So the first plant that I wanted to talk to you about to maybe look for at the garden center that I love for foliage, because not only do you need flowers for flower arrangements, we need lots of good foliage. This is 9-bark right here. And as you can see, I actually cut it before it started flowering, and I love it because it looks like berries on the foliage. So look for 9-bark at your garden center. And also, everyone loves peonies. I say peonies. Some people say peonies. I say peonies. Peonies are blooming right now. These come back every year. My peonies will outlive me one day. So peonies, and then the last flower that I think you should look for at your garden center is garden roses. Now behind me, I've got this beautiful display. This one is Queen of Sweden by David Austin, and it is one of my very favorite garden rose plants. And I'm on year 3 of having it in my garden. And boy, she is just exploding with blooms this year. It's just really brought me a lot of joy to have planted these plants a few years ago. And now I can cut from these plants, put them in a vase, bring them inside my home, and enjoy them. As you're walking around with Mom this weekend at the garden center, remember these 3 plants. You might want to add them in your gardens.
I will definitely do that. I will go get them and add them to my garden inventory.
Wow, what a fun show this has been today. This has been
Absolutely.
really fun. I am so glad, Jen, Tricia, we have learned so much from you. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
We learned so much from you.
It was so fun to join you guys.
Don't forget to check out Jen.
But thank y'all for having me.
Are on BloomTVNetwork.com. Have beautiful videos. We have links to them on our Flowers and Friends Instagram page, so you can go check out all of their beautiful work on all of their social media too. So thank you. We just want to say goodbye, and we can't wait to chat with you again very soon.
Yay. This has been a fun show, Kara. I mean, a lot of our viewers are so happy learning so much. I just read a question here. Somebody asked, what causes store-bought roses not to bud? Well, not all store-bought roses don't open. I mean, some of the varieties don't, but a lot of them, you need to check where you're getting your flowers from. That is so important. Nowadays, everyone is selling flowers. They're selling flowers everywhere. Nobody's taking care of them. So that's one of the main reasons why not all flowers will open. So it's important that you pay attention to where you're buying your flowers. Sometimes that is why they cost more, because they have been treated correctly, they have been taken care of, and you're paying for good flowers. Otherwise, they might not open, they might rot. A lot of things can happen. So it's important that you look for good flower vendors when you're getting your flowers.
Yes, and I see we have another question that says, Kara, what else, if anything, do you plant with your garden roses? Well, I happen to have over 75 types of flowers at my farm. I have a lot, but I'm going to keep it simple for you. I really love phlox. And in my little arrangement right here, this one is called Fashionably Early Crystal Phlox, and it's a perennial. This would be very good for you to add with all of this is blooming right now. And so if you plant all these things, likely they'll be all blooming together. So look for some phlox.
I love it. It's a really nice complementary flower or a filler. I mean, you can use it and combine it with so many other flowers.
Yes, yes. And we just want to remind you one more time to learn how to subscribe to BloomTVNetwork.com. You just go to Bloom TV Network, and we have a little screen we're going to show you to make it really easy right there. And you can also enter, yep, there we go, watch right there. Go to BloomTVNetwork.com. Also, we have a Mother's Day special going on. When you buy one Bloom TV yearly membership, you get one free. That is really exciting. A great gift for Mom.
Yes, let's talk. You should do it. I mean, to give this to your mom would be a great gift. She's going to thank you. Really, she's going to enjoy the show. And why don't we talk a little bit about next week? Look what I made. I have my floral ice cubes. And next week, we're going to have Holly from Big Family Living, and she's going to be giving us so many great tips for summer, poolside ideas. One of the things she's going to be doing is this floral ice cubes, among other wonderful flower things.
Can you imagine having your friends over to the pool and you bring them a drink with floral ice? They would be like, wow.
Everyone would be like, oh, you're the best. How did you do that?
Absolutely. Also, we are going to have Miss Monica Michelle. She is the CEO and creator of Bloom TV Network. And we wanted to have her on and just talk about, how she created Bloom TV and why and the mission. And we're really excited to have her on and talk about that.
Also, it is her birthday. So we would really like it if all of you can join us and wish her a happy birthday, because we are reading all of your comments. I don't know, but we have a chat here where we see all the comments. If you're in my YouTube, in Kara's YouTube, in Bloom TV's Facebook, wherever you are, we are able to read all of the comments. So please join us next week and wish Monica, the creator of Bloom TV, a very happy birthday.
Absolutely. So before we officially say goodbye, we have one more video to show you. It is the Eden video for Bloom TV. It is beautiful, and we will be right back to say goodbye.
We have built the world's first flower-focused streaming network, bringing the public educational and entertaining shows that highlight the magic of flowers. Learn how to heal through flowers, cook with flowers, design your living space to reflect nature, make crafts using florals, sustainably garden, and so much more. We are your network for all things floral. Join us at Bloom TV as we help bring beauty to the lives of people and the planet through nature's most beautiful creation, the flower.
Thank you all for joining us today. We had such a great time with you. We love reading your comments. Please tag us if you do any of the projects you watch on our show, because we really want to see what you're doing. Comment if you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to do. I mean, Kara and I are so happy planning each episode every week, aren't we?
We are very thankful for you guys for being here.
Yes. Thank you. Have a great Mother's Day and a lovely weekend.